This episode of Chewing the Fat is brought to you by the Secret Hub Studios in conjunction with netchannel2.com. Hello everyone, it's Chewing the Fat back for another week, episode 32. And good to see that the chat room is getting crowded. You have to scooch over and let some people in. And this evening we also have Mr. Goodman with us. How are you, sir?
Good evening. Yes, we're going to have to buy another lounge for that chat room, aren't we?
Yes, we are. It's getting a bit sweaty in there, being leather and all.
Oh, yeah. Bit smoky. Boys like a good cigar.
That's right.
And girls.
Why not? Smoking jacket, cigar, and your little, Hugh Hefner slippers. Why not?
And dressing gown.
That's
gown.
Right. That's right. No commando in the lounge room, by the way.
None of that.
None of that.
No,
All
so
right.
how's your week been?
A week's been okay. Anzac Day was, Anzac Day. It was there. It was middle of the week, which tends to throw me off a little bit. But other than that, the diggers are good. Very moving. Every Anzac Day when the diggers are up there, and it's good that we still celebrate what they did for us, and should continue to do so.
Yes, and there's unfortunately, you would have to say, there's a new breed of soldiers coming through that are marching, which is unfortunate, but as long as they're marching, that's good. That's
right. I don't mind their marching. There's a lot of people that in current theatres of war are still out there, and they deserve to march, and Vietnam vets too, the forgotten heroes.
Yes. Yeah, look, I think I left work the other day. Yeah, it must have been Tuesday, and some girl just said, "I don't like Anzac Day. I don't like glorifying war."
We're not glorifying war. She's a moron. You punch her in the face. It's not about glorifying war.
And I said, "Well, we're not glorifying war. We're remembering.
We're thanking them for paying the ultimate sacrifice. You dumb, ignorant bitch."
Yep, that's right. Just lazy. Just probably someone that's lazy that just couldn't be bothered getting up in the morning.
Did you tell her that if it wasn't for the Anzacs or anyone else that's defended our country, she'd be singing a different national anthem?
Yeah,
probably in Japanese or German.
Look, I was at work. I couldn't go down that path as much as I would have liked.
Oh man, I would have slapped her face. And I'm not even born in this country, and I get upset when people say stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just a total
height of ignorance. Ignorance. Speaking of ignorance, that leads us to our next story.
Oh, good.
Labor would lose both chambers if an election was held right now. That's not a surprise for anyone.
Yeah.
No one, in comparison to the bravery, the courage, the integrity of the people that defended this country, not so much the current Labor government. Labor would suffer its worst result in the Senate since 1944 if an election was held now, giving Tony Abbott control of the upper house as well as the lower. Oh, mate, could you imagine? You do know that you and I are going to the tally room in Canberra, don't you? That's on. That's on. I'm just gonna work on a hall pass.
Yeah.
And
what does that mean?
What's that?
What, you're working on a hall pass?
Hall pass. What do you call it? Like you get the wife's permission to split.
Oh, right. Like a leave
hall pass, I call it.
What, HALL?
Yeah, that's what they call it, hall pass. Is that what they call it?
Oh, I've never heard of that terminology.
I think there's a movie called Hall Pass. Doesn't matter. Either way, I'm working on it.
Right, yeah, good. I thought you meant you were working on a pass to get into the joint and we'd stand in the hall or something.
No.
Got to be up with the thick of it.
No. Yeah, hall pass. We're standing outside the tally room. Can you let me in, please?
Oh, I can smell it.
Oh, he's going to win, and I'm standing outside in the cold. What am I going to do?
Yeah, so things are even since last week. I don't know if
it's one a week. What's going to be next week?
Oh.
You know what'd be good next week? If they lay charges on Thompson. Slipper's out, Thompson's out. There'd have to be an election, right?
Well, isn't what's that guy's name? The son-in-law for the Governor General.
Oh, Bill Shorten.
Who?
Bill Shorten.
Yeah, that's him. Didn't he come out and say, "Listen, this is all rubbish. Let's get this Thompson thing over and done with, and let's start moving on."
Yeah, well,
be what it may, let's just get it done and sorted.
But reading between the lines, what that means, what he's really saying, in my view, and I could be wrong, um, is that he's saying, oh, look, let's just not worry about it. Hey, why don't we just move on from this and let's just let him sit in his backbench and just not worry about it.
Yeah, look, I don't know. But what about Slippery Pete? So
Slippery Pete,
he's,
yes.
He's standing down.
Piece
for
of
the
work.
investigation
No, stepping aside, not standing down. Stepping aside. He still doesn't get a vote, but he's stepping aside. So
but only for the investigation in the travel rorts, not the
no,
sexual
that's
harassment.
right. Stepping aside because of the criminal investigations, which is the travel rorts. So that leaves them now with a 1-seat majority instead of 2. If Craig Thompson gets charged, you know what? He should step aside too, because he is also under criminal investigation. He should do the right thing, but he won't.
He should.
He won't, because Julia's sort of said, look, Swiss account, how much do you want? Stay in here, just hold firm, see if we can hang out for the next 15 months, see what happens.
You know, stay there, whatever happens, we can post you over the US ambassadorship or something.
That's right. Yeah, well, you can be, what do you want to be, an ambassador of the Vatican, maybe, because you're such an upstanding citizen, possibly?
Yeah.
You know,
that could suit him right down to the ground.
Yeah, Vatican, because they're all upstanding.
What about the finance ever?
The what?
Treasurer.
You cut out there. Make him treasurer, yeah. You know what? Make him president. Make him the Governor General.
I heard that Julia's been sticking her beak into the Reserve Bank.
Yes, always. Always dropping hints. Just leave them be, little Miss Julia. They know what they're doing a little bit more than you do, young Missy.
She's been, pretty much, she'd like to think she's instructing them to lower the interest rates.
Yeah, she's hinting that they're lowering interest rates. You know, one thing that I found funny during the week, they said under the Howard government there was 10 consecutive interest rate rises in the last, just 2 years before, the 2007 election. And I thought, you know what, he's got a point there. But then someone said to me, you know why they had 10 consecutive interest rate rises, which just sounds a lot, but it was only a total of about 2.5%. Is because the economy was going gangbusters and they had to slow it down. The reason they're lowering interest rates now is because the economy's not moving. It's crap. It's in the toilet. So they shouldn't be taking any pride in the fact that, oh, look, under us, interest rates are minus 3%. They're paying you to borrow money. They take pride in that. That's no great achievement, let me tell you.
I still don't get why we're paying so much interest rate anyway, while America and the UK are over on like 1%.
Yeah, but look, their economy is in the toilet. Don't worry, we'll get there soon enough. Just have a little bit of patience. Under this government, we'll be getting there soon enough. Don't worry about that. Their economy's in the toilet. The UK today announced that they are in their second recession since 2008.
Yeah, they're in the double dipper.
Yeah, double dip. And I predicted 3 years ago that we will go double dip, and we would have got the first dip if they didn't spend all that money on useless crap. Let the place go into recession. Because it cleans it out. It cleanses. It cleans. It makes people disciplined. People pull their heads in. They stop spending money on useless crap. Government stops spending money on useless crap. You can't cure a debt problem by getting more debt. And that's what the Greeks did. That's what America's doing. They're just printing more money. They think, oh, we'll cure the debt problem. We'll just borrow more.
Yeah, print more.
Print more money.
Why not?
That's not going to solve anything. Stupidity.
No, was it America that did that? Was it the UK? Someone, I heard that story and I just went, I couldn't believe what I heard. I had to listen to the next half hour.
The UK, the current Prime Minister of the UK said that today or yesterday, but other people have said it in the past. I think members of the Liberal Party have said the same thing, and members of the.
I thought it happened about 2 years ago.
What's that?
I thought it actually happened. I'm pretty sure that I think it was the UK, somewhere over there, or I don't know where it was, but they said, oh, well, we're gonna print another so many billion or whatever and just push this into the economy. push this into the market.
Yeah, well,
Which I
they
thought
well they're
they
doing
were
it. They're
left to
gonna.
do.
That's what they did. But I think that today or yesterday he said we cannot print more money. In other words, go into more debt in order to solve an existing debt problem. So I think they've just said, you
Yeah.
know what, we're going to let it go into the recession. We're just going to have to write it out.
Mm, mm. But that's right. Like you probably should have let it go into the recession, and these things got to go up and down. That's how the cycles work. And
That's right.
if you're
That's
gonna
right.
try and it's like a river, isn't it? You try and detour the meandering of a river. Well, it's going to come back and just smash us
That's
twice as
right.
hard.
You
It's
got to
going to find its own way back anyway.
swim with the current. Swim with the current.
Yeah,
Whatever the current is, as
yeah.
horrible as it may be, as difficult as it might
Mm,
be, it's short-term pain, and that's all it is. Otherwise, it's long-term pain.
mm. And what about so that the aged care reforms they've sort
Look,
of been
I
announced
didn't,
as
I
some
didn't
sort of
really
5
read too
billion.
much into that, but as usual, the basic tenet of it is that everyone's going to pay more. So
Self-funded retirees, I think, are going to bear the brunt. I don't know. I'm sort of in two minds. Like obviously, selfishly, you could say, well, no, you don't want that to happen. But then if you unselfishly you look at the whole economy, think, well, if they're self-funded, well, maybe they should sort of,
Well,
you
look,
know,
I haven't read all the detail,
jump.
but depending on what's in there, and if people there are a lot of wealthy people who could well afford to pay for their own retirement homes and aged
Mm,
care, and I've got no problem with that. But where people get stuck are the ones in the middle who are just on that boundary of, yes, I'm self-funded, but I'm not so self-funded that I can afford to throw out that much money. That's sort of that in the
yeah.
middle, and they're the ones that get caught. And to tell you the truth, they're the ones they're really aiming for. It's that whole socialist thing.
Because it is like all these things just like chain reactions and all this sort of stuff. Because there was something else I was reading through the week where they were saying, and you might have read it too, because it probably was the Sydney Morning Herald. I think you read the same thing because I'm on the iPhone, on the iPad.
Yep.
It was about the housing affordability for young people, how it's just becoming more and more out of reach and
Yep.
everything like this.
Yep.
And they're saying that the houses and that, because of stamp duty and so forth, like they're saying the old people, they're not selling up and downgrading because they don't want all this stamp duty that people are paying. They're saying, why not? We could free up a lot of these big houses that are only, the grandpa, grandma's just living in a 5-bedroom house, free it all up. But don't charge them stamp duty when they downsize and all this sort of
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
So
that would probably work if they did that because well that makes perfect sense. But a lot of people don't want to move because for emotional reasons. And
yeah,
I understand that.
but then a lot do at the same time.
Oh, a hell of a lot do, exactly. For example, a lot of retirees, depending on how old they are, if they're really old and they can't really take care of their house and that's different. But, when you got the young grandparents,
Yeah, yeah,
they want a big house because they want their grandkids to come over. You move, as soon as the kids are out of the house and you downsize, your kids are never going to come over because it's too freaking small. Right? You're not
mm,
gonna, you'll never see your kids or your grandkids because you're living in an apartment. You know,
yeah.
if you've got 3 kids and they've got 3 kids and you all have them around for Christmas, well, that's a lot of people there to squeeze into an apartment, isn't it?
That's right.
So
If
that's
you're,
why a lot of them don't downsize for that reason, and that's the same reason I won't downsize.
yeah,
When I can't walk and I'm drooling, 24 hours a day, yeah, then I'll sell the house.
mm, yeah, yeah. That's right. Like it's got to be your last resort. Like yeah, like that everyone's edging it closer and closer to old age, but yeah, it's no good to because I see it a fair bit around here. A lot of old people around here, and they just have to sell up or they just life changing leave their partner to go into a home
Yeah.
themselves
Oh,
or
that's just
vice versa. It's
yeah. That's pretty.
no
Yeah,
good.
that's horrible. That's horrible. Look, my parents are getting older. I don't know what I'm going to do if that ever happens. I don't want to really think about it too much, but I'm trying to prepare myself for it. But I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Even they're not that old. They're very fit old people. They travel. They travel twice a year overseas, so they're not. They're still quite fit. My mum's 74 and my dad's 72,
Mm.
and
Well, that's as old age goes, that's probably relatively
that's pretty
yeah,
good. But they're a young 70s. They're very young.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
not like some 70-year-olds who have got one foot in the grave. You can see you're not going to last long. You're not looking real good, mate. But
Yeah.
my parents are quite active and healthy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
70s.
good. That's good.
So look, they'll probably. I can't see them doing anything until their 90s, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
You know, but
But some people, they just stay in the home till
until
they
it's
go,
time.
you know?
Yeah, it's time. Some people are still quite okay with that. You know, whatever. It's a
Yeah.
personal choice.
Now, I pulled out a story through the week. I don't know if do you want the King's Cross story or continue with the political story?
Whatever you want. Whatever. Oh, that one. Oh, that's hideous. Yeah. Are you more about the comments made by a certain individual?
Well, yeah, we'll go with that. The King's Cross one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. All right. So now, obviously, everyone's probably heard that a car driven by a 14-year-old, right, ran down pedestrians.
Yep.
So the car was, up on the footpath, running people over. So to stop the car, the cops fired some shots into the windscreen, smashed the windscreen, hopefully stop the car.
Yep.
So this is our story.
Shot him in the neck.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the one of the bullets accidentally went into the people, into the kids. One into the neck, and I think the other one into
Keep
the
in
chest.
mind though, they didn't know they were kids.
No, that's right. This is all happening in like split seconds.
Yep.
And so anyway, so they got out, they stopped the car, blah, 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 and they got out. They were Aboriginal children. So now that has sparked comments made by Anthony Mundine, geez.
I think Anthony Mundine should just stick to boxing.
Now, it turns out that he's obviously not happy. He's crying racist. He's crying...
He's inciting a race hate argument where none exists.
I would say that he would probably be racist himself. He's racist against us.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's probably a good call.
Because like every time there's a bit of trouble, he just jumps out and there's Anthony. He's on his soapbox again.
Yeah.
Now it turns out that the driver of the car, right, has been known to police since he was 8.
Yeah, that's horrible. So, where are the parents? Fuck.
Known to police since he was 8. Now after the accident. Now, the kid was shot. Now, and hasn't died. I think he's still in hospital, isn't he?
Yeah.
But anyway, Mundine got on the Twitter, and some of the tweets he was writing, heartbreaking day for me, visiting 14-year-old kid shot by police at King's Cross. I'm at a loss to understand how cops could shoot unarmed kids.
What an ignorant statement. What an absolutely ignorant statement. These people were running down innocent bystanders. No one knew they were kids driving the car, number one. The cops had to do something, otherwise how many people would have been killed getting mowed down in the car?
Well,
I don't care what colour the driver is.
Yeah, the last time I looked, and if the police had had 5 seconds to actually think about it, the last time I looked, you weren't allowed to drive a car till you're like 16, 17.
And not on the footpath either.
There'd be no inkling in the copper's mind that these people are going to be 14. Like none whatsoever. Now it was dark. It was 3 a.m. in the morning. Now you can't see into the car because of all the light. Like obviously, you put yourself in the situation. You've got all the lights of King's Cross. You've got a car, windows up or whatever. Now you can't actually see through the windscreen. You couldn't see into the car. The car inside the car would be darker.
Yes.
So you couldn't see into the car.
You can't see into the car.
You're not going to know what's going on inside the car. Now, also another tweet. Barry O'Farrell needs to take a serious look at his police force. All I keep hearing about is trigger-happy cops killing people. Now, another one. Police intentionally shot to kill, or shoot to kill. He makes a few spelling mistakes, old Anthony. And another one. Yes, the kids should be trialled for what they did, but the police should be trialled for attempted murder.
Oh, he can go and fuck himself.
Give me a break. Now, Sarah Roberts and Tanya Donaldson were the two people minding their own business when they were mowed down by this car. And as to their welfare, Anthony Mundine had nothing to say other than, did they die?
That's it.
That's it. Don't worry about it. Don't just worry about what are the kids doing out at 3 a.m.? What are they doing in a stolen car?
Go and talk to the parents. Where are the parents? You should go visit the parents and get angry at the parents for being such bad parents.
Yeah. He's just totally off kilter.
Oh, look, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. This guy angers me so much. He's a complete toolhead. What other story you got? Let's not give this guy airtime because he's an idiot.
Okay, so here's another one. Here's a bit of a strange one. Now, this mum in New York, right? Now she was fired. Now what did she do to get fired? Well, she donated her kidney to help her boss. Now, what's happened is the boss, he fell ill or whatever. He needed a kidney transplant. So this lady, look, all the names and everything are in the story for whenever it gets show notes. But the lady,
I posted the show notes last week, netchannel2.com, with the videos.
Oh.
Get in there.
Woohoo. So this lady, anyway, so she did the test, but she wasn't a match for the boss. So what they decided to do, well, she decided to do, she said, well, listen, I can still help you. I will donate my kidney to someone else, therefore pushing you up the list.
Right.
Okay. So she's done all this. Oh, I reckon there must have been a bit of a bonky chonk going on there somewhere.
A bonky chonk.
But she's 47 years old, divorced, a divorcee, mother of two.
Hey, how about a bonky chonk and I'll give you a kidney?
Yeah, well, And so anyway, so they've done, the deal has been done. Now, a few weeks later, she started getting sick. So she got sick because of she's only got one kidney. She had 3 days off work. The boss says, you're fired. Get out of here.
Well, Jesus, good one.
Yeah, isn't that a bit tough?
Oh dear.
So,
name names. What's his name?
Okay, well, her name's Debbie Stevens.
Right. Who's the boss that sacked her? Jackie Brewster.
Jackie Brewster, 61.
Yeah, well, you've had a good run, love.
At the $1 billion Atlantic Automotive Group, which operates several car dealerships. Stevens said, the lady, she first got to know Brewster, one of the West
Islip
company's controllers, while toiling as a clerical worker for the firm starting in January 2009. So what a guy! What a guy!
Well done. It's fantastic.
Well done.
It's fantastic work.
You get the arsehole award of the week.
No, I think so. We should have one of those a week.
Yeah, we should.
We should have 32 episodes. Well, the last 31 episodes would be the Labor government, right? So that they're winning, and then this week it's Jackie Brewster.
Yeah, but so that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But anyway.
Now back on the Yes Ministers. I'm actually going to see Yes Minister in a couple of weeks to play.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. How much a ticket is that?
Oh, they're pretty pricey, $130.
Yeah. Oh, look. From what I've heard it's very, very good.
Oh, look, I can't wait. I think it's going to be hilarious. And I didn't know that it's actually Mother's Day that weekend.
Oh,
I didn't know about it when I booked it, and I thought to myself, well, that's cool. Now I can just pass this off as a Mother's Day gift. You beauty.
You taking your mum?
No, my wife, you dickhead.
Oh, right.
Oh, you're a knob.
Oh,
Speaking of knobs. Speaking of knobs.
Speaking of other big knobs.
The other big... Tony Windsor has withdrawn support for Slipper during the week, or yesterday, was it? The Gillard government's hopes for having Peter Slipper back in the speak. They wanted him back in the chair before the budget on May 8, because they wanted his vote to get the budget through, see? And what the Liberal Party are playing at is the budget can only get through if they've got votes, because they've got to vote for the budget in the House. Now, he's withdrawn support for Slipper. So let's do the maths here. Slipper's gone. They've got a one vote majority. If Windsor withdraws support for him at a vote level, then they're even. The budget won't pass, and there'll be an election.
But how do you mean withdraw support for him? They've got a one majority.
Yeah, but doesn't mean when they withdraw support for him, it doesn't mean that they'll vote against the government. But they could. But they could.
Yes.
In other words, they're putting Gillard on notice. We could go either way here, is what really this is saying.
Right. Okay. Right.
So they want him back in the seat. So let's assume that it gets a little bit more tawdry and disgusting, which it probably will. Good for us, right? Between now and May 8, there is a good chance that Windsor, because he's out of all the betraying independents, the lying scumbag independents, he's probably the least scumbag of the lot, compared to Oakeshott, for example, who is just an absolute toolbag. And Wilkie has withdrawn support too. So all you need is those two to withdraw support at a budget level, at a vote level, and what happens? You can't. The budget means you block supply. If you block supply, you've got to go to an election. That's how Gough got sacked in '74.
Yeah.
So I can't wait.
So, but I still don't think that they're going to, like, they might not, but they withdraw support for him. Okay, fair enough. But doesn't mean that they're just going to knock the budget on the head. They'd have to really disagree with it.
Well, it depends how it affects their constituents. Like, Wilkie's got a good chance of not supporting the budget because he got canned. He didn't get anything he wanted.
Yeah.
Right, he got canned completely. He only got he gave the lying cow his vote, because she promised him certain things, and he's the only one that didn't get his promises. Windsor got, and Oakeshott got all theirs because they got the NBN in their electorates earlier than everyone else and all this sort of stuff. You know, Windsor's the Armidale, and that was the first rollout, so he got that tick.
Yeah.
Wilkie got nothing. So if anyone's going to go, you know what? No, not going to happen.
Well, he said previously he's not supporting her.
Yeah, that's right.
As in boots and all.
Yeah. So look, it's getting interesting, and all we need now, I'm just praying for, because the report is being released to the Senate this week, because they had 30 days to release it as soon as the HSU handed it over, and after 30 days they can release it. But it's too close to the budget to release that report into Thompson. So his lawyers have asked a judge to suppress the contents of that report until after the budget. Why? Because if the report gets made public, there's a good chance he's going to get arrested. And if he gets arrested, there is no government. Because that's it. Right. Because Slipper's gone, Thompson's gone. That means it's 74 all. The budget won't go ahead. It'll be a hung budget or whatever they call it, and they go to an election because there's no supply.
Yeah.
I can't wait. We're going to the tally room in May, dude. In May. Next month. In a couple of weeks.
We could be. Hello, Canberra.
Nice and cold.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll hurt when you're getting booted up the arse on your way out of Parliament House, Julia.
I reckon if she wins, you do a nude run into the Lake Burley Griffin.
No, I'm not doing a nude run for her. If she was a good sort, I'd think about it, but she's nowhere near being a good sort.
So if Tony Abbott wins, you'll do a nude run into Lake Burley?
No. No, I'm just going to celebrate like a good Liberal does by punching the air and doing the Leighton Hewitt.
Couple of brandies. So, yeah, come on. Yeah, so it is all getting interesting. It's interesting times. Yes. But look, I had another one. Did I peel that one out of the Costello one I had? I saw he wrote a little piece in the paper.
Yes, that was a great article.
And, it was, wasn't it? I didn't know he wrote for the...
No, he does. Yes. Once, I don't know how often, is it once a week or once every couple of weeks? I'm not sure. But he does write for them, and I can't... You did put it there. Where'd you put it?
Yeah, I found it. I got it here. But, so his suggestion to the government is to change tactic when it comes to selling this year's budget, level with us, and tell the facts rather than weave the spin.
Yes.
So this would involve admitting it was costly and unnecessary to ramp up spending by 36% in the past four budgets. It would mean admitting that if a surplus budget will take pressure off interest rates now, as the government is claiming, then more careful budget policy would have helped over the past 4 years.
Yeah, why would you do it suddenly now? Exactly.
Yeah, when the government returned federal budget deficits of 27 billion, 55 billion, 48 billion, and 37 billion.
That's disgraceful.
166 billion.
That's disgraceful. That's after burning through nearly 60 billion of surplus. And the NBN doesn't get counted. It's off the books. Why they're not including it in the budget, I have no idea.
Yeah, it would mean that admitting in the 2012-13 budget would not be a surplus at all if the government included its actual spending on the NBN up to 43 billion, which it has. How can they take it off the budget? Like,
it's just creative accounting. They think if you were a business and you were doing your cash flow, regardless of whether it was on the balance sheet or the profit and loss statement, right? You think this is how much is coming in. this is how much is going out. Some of that is on the P&L, which means essential services, for example, and the rest of it is on the balance sheet, for example, NBN, because it's an asset, right? It's still cash out, right? Yeah. So it's the budget should be what's coming in and what's going out. That's the budget, not just what you feel like putting in there. It is just the most corrupt government on the planet. They just, we won't leave that in there. They've spent how much this year on the NBN? No one knows. No one frickin' knows, right? It'll be at least $5 billion. So,
but Costello, he hits it on the head, doesn't he?
He does. He just really nails it.
Yeah, his next paragraph starts, and this is where it sort of starts getting interesting, where I sort of enlarge the font so I can see clearly. it's, most of all, it would mean stopping all this nonsense about its problems being the result of bad karma, which, nearly 7 years later, they're still referring back to the Howard government. Like, I mean, did these guys actually just hold him in high esteem or what? You know,
well, they must have, but for some...
Howard government did that. But last week, Julia, seeking to explain why the forthcoming budget surplus would be so weak, wailed that the rivers of gold that flowed into Peter Costello's coffers don't exist anymore.
Well, I know what you're going to say next. Go on.
Yeah, so, and Peter Costello writes on and says, I have news for her. They never did. There were no rivers of gold or anything else that could compare to the rivers of iron ore, black coal that are now pumping the Australian economy. Gillard's latest forecast for the coming financial year is $375 billion in receipts, which is more than $100 billion more than the last full financial year of the coalition government.
That's right.
Over 5 years, this is an increase of 37%. The problem is the Commonwealth spending has risen even faster.
That's right. Well, do the maths. The 100 billion, they had 275 billion come in 2007. This year, 375 billion's come in. That's 37% increase, but their spending has increased by 36%. So that is a total 73% spending. They just can't live within their means. They are hopeless. It's like if you got $1 in, you decide to spend $1.72.
And then Costello finishes up with the best paragraph of the whole lot. This government has tried more spin cycles than would be safe for an average washing machine.
That's right.
It should try a rinse cycle to get rid of all the accumulated grime and a little bit of disinfectant to spruce up the end result.
Yeah, that's it.
Agree.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, boom. Yeah, so get out. That's fine. Get out now. That's what I say. Get out and get out now.
Yeah, buddy, it's so much money. So much money just wasted.
It's frightening. Our kids are paying for this. This is the scary bit. Our kids are going to be paying for this. Their taxes are going to be the highest in the world for most of their working life because of this government. And then they wonder what. And what else is going to happen is that our children's generation will be the highest tax minimising, tax cheating generation in history because the taxes are so high. Tax minimisation will become a national sport again.
Yeah. And what was that article you sent me through during the week as well? That was about the if you had a property, an investment property, some people were adding the interest or their loss back onto their loan.
What they're doing is the rents are going onto your non-deductible debt payment or a loan. For example, let's make it simple. They just say there's one loan on your house for $500,000. There's one loan on your investment property for $500,000. You get rents on your investment property, and you decide to put that onto your home loan, which is a very well-known technique and quite legitimate. You're not doing anything wrong because you're still declaring income, and you're not declaring any more interest than you normally would, really. But what they're saying is, because you're putting, your how much would you get on $500,000 loan? I don't know, $4,000 a month back onto your mortgage, which is a non-deductible debt. You're increasing your deductible debt by $3,000 a month in interest. Yes. So you're capitalising the interest on interest. So what eventually happens is that you pay off your non-deductible debt while your deductible debt, which I call good debt, goes up. And they want to put a stop to that. That's been a practice that's been going on since day dot.
So yes, So Yeah, but so is that going to affect the people that have like the interest only loans?
Um, no, what's only going to affect what's going to happen now that they effectively what's going to happen is that the rents that you collect has to going to go straight into the loan that relates to that investment
It's
property,
right.
rather
Yep,
than
got
into
it.
your home loan,
Home
your offset
loan.
account or whatever. They
Well,
want
I
it.
don't think
They want it
I don't.
directed into the relevant account, which to me, what do you care where the money goes? I'm still declaring the income.
Mm, yeah, but well, you're minimising your tax. I suppose that's where they're jumping up and down. But
Well, that's what happens when you've got a government that's broke. They'll attack anything and make it retrospective just to put the boot in.
I wouldn't think it's a bad idea to like instead of increasing tax-free thresholds from 6,500 to 18,000, which I don't know if I actually agree with that. That's good, but I don't know if I actually agree with it. It wouldn't be better to maybe make your first home a deductible debt
Not just
or
your
something?
first home, any home.
Because it is in America, isn't it?
It is in America, that's right. Their mortgage interest is deductible. And
Mm,
yeah, you pay capital gains tax too. You can't have it both ways. But in America, you only pay capital gains tax on homes that are sold that worth over $1 million.
yeah.
So if you've got a home under $1 million, your interest is deductible. You sell it, there's no tax.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah,
not
well,
saying that's the best system because we all know America's broke too. Because
yeah.
in my mind, they probably don't tax people enough. Their taxes are very low, extreme. It's nearly a tax haven. So there's probably a fine. Probably a balance somewhere in the middle that could probably make governments happy and their citizens happy as well. Because
'Cause I
tax
can't
has to be
believe.
paid. It has to be paid. Otherwise, you're just living in a hovel. You can't have essential services without, income tax revenue. But when you start taxing too much, people are just going to go, I've had enough. You can't tax. I've said this before. You cannot tax a country and expect it to be prosperous. You can't overtax a country and expect it to be prosperous.
No, if there's no one's got any money, no one can pay any tax.
That's right. What are you going to do? You're going to kill the golden goose. Then they just move overseas. They've already closed that mine in Queensland. Because then
Yeah,
they just go, you
yeah.
know what? We're just going to open a mine in Kazakhstan. Stuff it.
They're booming over there.
Yeah, we don't care. We'll just open a mine in China.
Borat's quadrupled the tourist industry over there or
Yeah, good on
something.
him. I wonder how the sales of mankinis have gone though.
But interesting or intriguingly, I don't understand is back over in the US is that there's opposition to the healthcare, to free healthcare.
Yeah, look, I
Like
don't understand that. That's just bizarre.
it is bizarre. Like
I don't know
I
if
think
free. I don't know. I don't look. I don't even know if it's free. I think they're just modifying their existing healthcare, which is so expensive and it's out of reach for most people. I think they just want to make it within reach for most people, like our system, Medicare, right? For
hmm,
people who can't afford private health insurance, Medicare works. If you can't pay upfront for a doctor's visit, you get bulk billed. I think they're trying to put in a system, something like that. And the reason the Americans don't want to do it is because they're all in they've all got the drug companies have got all these people in their pockets. That's why, and the
yeah,
insurance
yep,
companies. That's why they don't do it. And it's
yeah,
just look, that's a very complicated history with the Americans. They've got the lobby groups for the pharmaceuticals and the drug and the what you call it, and the insurance companies. There is just it's bordering on corrupt, if not corrupt. So
I can't see the argument why people get upset about having a more accessible health system. I can't get the argument right in my head. Can't see it.
yeah, that's the other extreme. Look, I wouldn't live in America for all the tea in China. No way.
mm,
You
cause,
know.
yeah, because I don't mind paying tax to do healthcare and all that sort of stuff. I don't like paying tax for bloody
I just
pay
don't
someone.
like paying tax for the dog bludgers at Byron Bay who surf every day, smoke pot, and take $200 a week for sitting on their ass and doing nothing. That's what I
Mm.
object to. But if someone is, disabled or is an invalid and needs a pension, I've got no issue with any of that.
But you know what, those dole bludgers up there though, you could look at it a different way. You could think that okay, well they choose to live their life like that. They're never going to have a bloody bumper. They're never going to have two coins to rub themselves together with.
Yeah, but
But
they're not contributing to society. They're using my money to have a good time. Sorry.
but what about aren't they leaving a position open for someone that wants a job?
No, I think they can create jobs. You want a prosperous nation. You have the more people working, the better.
Oh yeah, true, yeah, true.
And
Oh,
not the worst thing is they're bringing up these idiots are having children. So they're bringing up a generation of dole bludgers, and their kids are dole bludgers. And if you had, if you put it this way, just say you had one street where one couple did it, and everyone goes, oh, that's not a bad idea. So then another couple did it, right? And in the next generation, another couple. Then 10 generations later, the whole street are a pack of dole bludgers. Now magnify that now on a statewide, on a countrywide level, and you'll end up like Greece because everyone is on the take.
Well, it's happening now. It's happening now. You've probably got areas down in Sydney. There's areas up here south of Brisbane where it's well known. It's a 3-generation welfare.
They're what do you call it? The ghettos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? If you go back 20 or 30 years, those areas probably weren't considered what they're considered now. But it gets infected. Bad apple, the whole cart goes, right? Now, you keep doing it, and we're going to end up like Greece. Social Security is too easy in this country. It is really too easy.
What was Joe saying the other day? He wanted to reduce the amount of the dole or something.
Oh, look, Joe's got to just sometimes shut up a little bit, I think. He's just... no, I think he was saying that... well, he's just basically saying it's too easy.
Yeah.
Give it to the people that need it, but the people that don't need it, they shouldn't have it.
Have they stopped work for the dole, or did they scrap that?
I'm not sure what they've done with that. I think, look, it wouldn't... I know Howard brought in work for the dole. I don't know what Gillard's done with it. She's probably thought, you know what? My husband doesn't do much, and he gets the dole, so everyone else can get it too.
She's probably just said, if you've got a good religious excuse, you don't have to work for the dole.
No, if you're an atheist, we'll give you the dole. If you're religious, you're not getting it. If you got a fat ass and red hair, you get the dole.
But if you're anything else, get stuffed.
Right. Yeah, get stuffed. Go and get your own bloody thingo. Now,
if you vote, you'll get stuffed.
Now, moving on to something that's actually saving money for a change by a government. Barry O'Farrell is moving out of their ivory tower surrounds in the city, Governor Macquarie Tower, which is, a sparkling monolith that's be quite expensive to rent. I've been in Governor Macquarie Tower. I've had a couple of clients in there. And
so they'd be renting it.
What's that?
They're renting.
They were renting, but they had Parliament House offices in the old sandstone building, the usual sort of place. And they had, which they vacated, but didn't rent out to anybody else. It's just vacant. And they go and rent this ivory tower, Governor Macquarie Place. Now, Barry O'Farrell said, you know what, that's a waste of money. That's what the Carr government did, wasting taxpayers' money. And they're saying, no, not going to do it. We're moving back to Parliament House because that's wasteful. Now, that's how you should run a government.
Yeah.
Not paying something. Their rents were paying something like $5-6 million a year in rent.
Jeez.
Right? While their Parliament House offices were just empty, sitting there, not earning any income. Taxpayers' money. That's how you save money.
Crazy.
That's how you save money.
Well, Campbell got into a bit of, I wouldn't say hot water because no one really cared, I don't think, except with the literacy awards. He canned the Premier's donation for the Premier's support of some literary awards.
Yeah, I read about that. And what did someone say? He said, so now he's against reading.
Yeah. And no, he just said, well, there's no point to it. He said, like, it's 200. Yeah, it was 200,000. But he says, we sort of got to start turning the state around. You got to start somewhere.
Look, if the
start
kids,
with the little things.
Put the responsibility back on the kids. If you want your kids to read, teach them to read. Don't expect the government to do it for you.
Yeah, but this was just like the Premier's Award or something.
Yeah, that's what I know what it is. We've got it down here too. Premier's Reading Challenge or something.
Yeah, but they got the sponsorship from somewhere else anyway.
Well, that's right. What I mean. Who cares, right?
Yeah.
It's just that everyone will just always, these socialists always put, it's not fair, it's not fair. You know what? Stop whining and just get a job.
Yeah, I think this Labor term has been worse than Hawke's Labor and Keating's Labor Party.
Well, it is much worse. This is the worst government, Labor or otherwise, since Federation in 1904 or 1901. No doubt about it.
But where are you going to where do you lay the blame? Like squarely on
mismanagement, inexperience, incompetence, mismanagement. A lot of the people in the Labor Party on both sides of politics, a lot of them, not all of them, are there to do a job that they love and they really do want to help people. They really do want to make a difference. They do want to make the country better. But their leaders uh, have an ideological agenda, and they go after the people that don't agree with them. And that's what Julia Gillard does. She is a rabid communist, and she will do anything to promote her agenda. And she's got all these little minions around her that just suck up to her.
But I suppose
Very dangerous human being.
But at the end of the day, that's what anyone is going to do, is just go after what you believe is right. And if she believes that's right, well, that's, I suppose,
no, look,
good
I
on her.
don't think she believes it's right. I think she believes it's right for people like her. It's not right for everybody. That's the difference.
Well,
you know,
I'll
you
give it
govern
up
for
to-
everybody, you just don't govern for a section. She governs for the trade unions. You know, she's doing them favours, you know, blah blah blah. You know, she'll prop up. Carr did it in this state. You know, he'll prop up all the hospitals and all the schools in the Western Sydney where his electorate is. You know, sparkling brand new. You go up to the blue ribbon suburbs, eastern suburbs, or the North Shore, and the hospitals are falling apart. It's just ruling and politics of envy. You know, and it shouldn't be that. It doesn't matter who's in power. You govern for everybody. You just don't govern for the people that voted for you. And that's the difference.
I will say something good about Julia. She did get up and do the Anzac service at 5 o'clock, and apparently she's the first Prime Minister to do that for a little while.
Well,
So,
I don't
good on
care
her.
about that. She's not going to get any votes from me for doing that because
no.
anyone could do that.
Who cares?
But what someone said is that her husband or boyfriend or, you know, whatever, de facto spouse had no right whatsoever laying a wreath with her at that celebration because he does not represent the Australian people. He is not in government. He wasn't voted in. No one else went up there, laid a wreath that represented their countries, took their spouses up to lay that wreath. It is inappropriate.
Yeah.
And once again, she screwed up. Once again, she screwed up. You know, and he gets on and he waves for the camera. Who are you, mate? Who the hell are you? This is a solemn event, and you're supposed to be here. The representatives of the countries, the leaders, should be up here, not their spouses. I don't care whether you're male, female, pink, green, alien, or whatever. That's inappropriate. You don't get up there.
Now, you've been watching Channel 9?
You're the voice.
The Voice.
Love it.
You watch that show?
Yeah, love it. Love it. Good show.
It's good.
Good show. I love Seal. How cool is Seal? Is he the coolest guy there or what?
He goes like this.
Yeah,
Now,
draws him in.
I can take you to where you want to go.
Come into my web, said the spider to the fly.
That's right. Yeah, no, he is cool. I saw someone posted a picture up on one of the Facebooks or something, and someone had actually transposed his head onto a seal.
Well done.
It was hilarious. Look, I'll see if I can quickly.
I'm sure he's got a sense of humour about it.
Oh yeah, well, who goes around with their bloody, with their bloody name being Seal? I'm just looking. I probably won't be able to find it because
Cool
it's probably
name.
just a million. But yeah, it was pretty funny. Wherever it was, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, good show. The blind auditions are over now. You know what's happening next week? Did you watch the reviews?
Yeah. So next week.
It's pretty brutal next week.
Oh yeah. So they got 12 on each side, and they're going to cut them down to 6.
6 each side. They're going to have a sing-off. A pair are going to sing the same song together, and they're going to have to vote for them, and that's going to be brutal. Cuts down from 48 down to 24. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but next week will be very interesting, and I'll be watching it. That's for sure. That's for sure. Channel 9, you did something right. Now, the best thing you can do now is keep it on every week and not string it out over 2 years.
That's right. That's right. But see if you can. I don't know if you can actually put this up, but here's that picture I was talking about.
Oh, you got the picture there? I'll put that up for you.
It's pretty funny.
That is funny.
It looks like it's on a little baby seal too.
That's funny. Good on you, Seal. Oh.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, smashing the ratings.
Yeah, it's gone nuts. 5 million people Australia-wide last week in one night.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's about time we had a positive show rather than.
Well, they've had a few. The block's going. The block. I haven't been watching the block because in the first week or the first 2 weeks they just have those what do you call it? They have those they have 8 teams and they cut it down to 4, and that's just boring as batshit. I wait until they've got their 4 teams and they're about to do their first room, then I'll start watching it.
Yeah, I'm not a block person. Never watched it, but look,
it's pretty funny. You should watch it because some of the absolute bitches on that show, you want to. It's like Demi Moore.
Yeah,
not Demi Moore, Demi Hines.
Yeah, you want to smash.
You just want to smash them.
Yeah, but yeah, so the voices are apparently smashing it. Channel 7, they thought they'd smashed it the whole year. Apparently, Channel 7 last year won every ratings week.
Yeah, I think that's true. And Channel 9 was struggling as a result. Their ad revenue dropped because people were paying less for the spaces because they weren't winning anything. So they were struggling a bit.
Yeah. So, but now they're back on top.
Yeah.
The voice.
Well, for now, anyway. We'll see. Look, like the Labor government, Channel 9 will find a way to screw it up, I'm sure.
I don't mind Channel 9, but
I've always been loyal to Channel 9 because they've always had the best programming. The sport, the football, the cricket, the Olympics have always been good on Channel 9. But every now and again they go, "Oh, what'd you do that for?"
Yeah. Yeah, look, I don't mind Channel 9. I think all these channels just but the same. We were talking on Aussie Tech Heads before about Channel 9 and broadcasting, the important shows you want to watch on their standard def channel rather than sitting them on the high def channel so you can enjoy them in full high def luxury.
Yeah, I agree, and they should do that. But you know what my theory is, which just occurred to me. Maybe it's because the high def channels don't get a lot of they're not on free to air, or are they? They are, aren't they? Gem is on free to air.
Yeah, they're on free to air.
Okay, well maybe they're not promoting, because you know how people recognise Channel 9 as Channel 9, so automatically you go to Channel 9, right? And no one's going to automatically go to Gem. Maybe it's a sort of like a brand identification thing. Until that gets up and running, they're a bit scared.
Well, I thought that as well, but then how hard is it going to be to just make the high def one unite? It's not going to be hard.
Well, the thing is, that's right. Why can't you make high def Channel 9?
Yeah. But another one.
I think they've got some laws. Because didn't they have to sign an agreement that they can have high def channels, but if they had to be not on their normal free to air channels?
Oh no, it's not the one I heard. I heard, and maybe in particular with the case of the ABC, and this probably is right for the rest of them, I'd say, was that the ABC News channel, they went to ABC News 24, as we all know, high def.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's something you could watch in standard def. Who cares about the news in high def? Who really cares? But apparently the high def channels had, by law or something, there's some law that there had to be such a high percentage of actual high def material on the high def channels.
Yeah.
Now, apparently that's why this is the case, because
you can only serve high def shows on high def channel, is that right?
Well, you've got to have a high percentage of total number of shows.
Yeah.
Like, has to be, say it's got to be 90%. 90% of that channel has to show high definition shows.
Right.
On the high def channel.
Well, that's what they do then. That's what they do. Because you know what I find? I think too that isn't on the ABC, you got ABC 1, 2, 3 and ABC 24 or whatever it is, right? I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but isn't it, if you go to ABC, it's standard def, but if you go to ABC 1, it's the same show as normal ABC but in high def?
No.
Why can't they just rebroadcast the same show on all the channels at the same time so you can pick which channel you want to watch? Same show, but I want that definition or I want this definition. Can't they do that?
No, well, they're all no, because their stream is like they've got whatever they got three standard def spaces and one high def space. But they want to stream different shows, so they want to widen their audience.
Yeah, look, I don't know. They've got to do something because you're right. There are certain shows. Look, even them. I don't know. They don't do it as much anymore. But a few years ago, or maybe 10 years ago, they used to, like Sunday night movie night, Channel 7 or Channel 9. And, some of the movies used to be pretty good. And why don't they bring the Sunday night movie back, and bang it on the high def channel? How good would that be? Have a really good,
Probably is a movie on the high def channel, but it's probably, 1956, Gravel in My Shoes or something.
No, but I think like late release, like something that's just, maybe it's only been a couple of months on DVD. They used to do that.
Yep. Yep. But it's just, all the channels are doing it. I don't understand. Like, I
Look,
don't know
it's
because
got to be the law. It's probably there's something in the law that probably prevents them from doing it. Otherwise, why would they do it? Doesn't make any sense.
Channel 7's the same. You go to 7 Mate, which is the high def channel.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? They got what?
Stupid name, 7. Oh, what's 7 Mate?
Mate. And then, you go to Channel 10. You've got 11, which has got all that CBS crap, which hasn't even been digitally reproduced or whatever you call it.
It's still a 4x3.
Yeah, but not only that, it's just 4x3 pus sucky.
Yeah, pixelated pus sucky quality. Yeah.
They've zoomed in to make it look a bit more like 16:9. That's pus,
and then it's just pixels. It's like 1 bit.
Yeah, the only channel I can let go with these rules is the Channel 10 when it had the sport channel. Yep, show sport on HD. Good on you.
Yeah, right.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, look, I don't know. Look, there's got to be something in their agreements with whoever ACMA, Australian Communications and Media Authority. I can't think of any other reason why they do it, because they could just advertise the hell out of their high def channels, so they create that brand awareness. So people start going to that channel for these things and for this channel for certain things. Make one the sports channel, one the movie channel, or whatever. You know?
And it's not that, like, say with the cricket, to use that as an example, because when the news was coming on, they flicked the cricket to Gem, so you watch the news on the masthead channel.
Yeah.
So the cricket is actually, like, I might have thought as an excuse, well, maybe that they haven't got enough high def cameras, but they actually, everything is actually filmed in high def, but it's downgraded.
It's downgraded. Yeah. It's what do they call that? It's compressed.
It's sucky.
It's sucked. It's given it a massive pain in the ass. Camera treatment, whatever that is. Anyway, good show.
Oh,
long show.
All right.
Holy cajooly.
This episode of Chewing the Fat is brought to you by the Secret Hub Studios in conjunction with netchannel2.com.